Hello, Assalamualaikum. We meet again at the Chonky series where we learn about how to use ba, what is the meaning of ba, and how the different uses we have for ba. Now, in this episode, um, there's nothing much left for me to share with you, so this is more like the bits and crumbs of the extra informations that I can share. So, yeah, without further ado, let us get started. So, yeah, as we all know, slangs and dialects are mostly informal, so it is not any different with the Sabahan slang bah. It is informal, and please do not use it in a formal setting, regardless of the event, be it spoken or written. It is still informal, and it is not professional for us to use a slang or dialect in such a setting. Um, well, I mentioned about both written and spoken. Um, there's a few ways that different Sabahan people use bah, or rather how they spell bah in their text or notes, how they write bah basically. So if it's written, sometimes you can see the spelling goes B-A-H, bah, or sometimes BHA, like ba, a more full rounded voice or full rounded pronunciation. Sometimes you can just simply see them use BA, ba, simple. The most, not really uncommon, but the shortest connotation of ba is BH, like ba. I don't know if that is the intended sound of it, but these four spellings are the most common uh, way of people spelling bah. Mainly, it depends on their preference or their practice over the time using bah in their text or notes. But one important note, if you want to use slangs or dialects in your text, especially the word bah, um, pay attention to pay attention to the tone of your text that may be perceived different as by the reader because it's in a typed because it's a typed message. Sometimes the reader cannot capture the tone or how you intend to say. Sometimes the reader may interpret it differently. So when you're using bah in a text or any slang or dialect in general, pay attention to the tone that the reader may perceive it. Few keynotes that you have to about few keynotes that you have to bear in mind is that will your text, like the whole text, will it cause misunderstanding or confusion? So the most important thing is to make sure that your message gets across. No matter the dialect or the slang, as long as your message gets across, that is all that matters, you know. However, you don't really have that problem in a spoken setting because you are going to say it, that you are going to voice it out. You have your pronunciation, your tone, intonation. You don't really have much problem there. But in text, people will do people will avoid such confusion by increasing the length of the bar, like let's say multiple A's in your bar, or make it longer to make sure that it doesn't it doesn't it doesn't be seen as something so serious or something so strict, you know. Okay, so we covered spelling, we covered how it is informal. What is else? Oh, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, in written you have to pay attention in a written form, you have to pay attention to the tone that they may perceive it as, the reader. But in a spoken setting, you it all depends on how you pronounce it. The longer, how long or how short it is, or how high pitched or low pitched it is. It all depends on how you want to convey the emotion helped by the ba. What else? Oh yeah, since I mentioned that this is informal, um, it is also important for us to know or to practice mannerism and context while using it, especially if you are using it with a social circle with different age groups or different interests, or you're in a different circle of friends than your usual ones. Sometimes you are in a conversation with an elderly, and sometimes it's not proper to use slangs or bah. It's like you don't respect them, or you expect them to know what you're talking about, but they don't know any. They don't have the context behind. They don't know the context behind it. So yeah, mannerism and context, number one. What is else? Also, this is something to be used in a casual setting. It's like between you and your close circle of friends. You are trying out new slangs or dialects. Yeah, go ahead. Nobody's stopping you. Especially me. I will be very thrilled if you're using it to learn in a positive connotation. You are learning something new and you are making an effort. That is good effort. But make sure your circle of friends are in agreement with you, or you are on the same page. You don't want to have a miscommunication or communication breakdown during the conversation. For example, you are using the Sabahan slang and suddenly your friend are using the Terengganu slang, and then another friend of yours are using the Kelantanese dialect. As long as you agree that, oh, I'll be using this slang, I'm using that slang, I will be speaking in this dialect, go ahead. As long as you know how to interpret, or how to use the slangs properly and not misunderstood what they are trying to say. um yeah, for bah, that is pretty much it. Oh, another thing is, if you notice about the word that people always made fun of, which is the boleh bakalakau, and sometimes you can see people make fun of it as boleh bakalakau, things like that. Um, it is actually so simple. Boleh bah kalau kau, but uh, it can be a bit of a tongue twister if you're not used to it. Now, basically, that what that phrase means is, in normal Malay, we say it as, oh, no hal, more like, boleh je, or in English, we say it as, or anything for you, or no problem, small matter, things like that. But oftentimes I see people make fun of it, and it is something so simple, but they manage to complicate it so much until they make a big deal out of it. It's just boleh ba kalau kau, forwards. Boleh ba kalau kau. The same meaning as no problem or anything for you. Roger that. So that is an extra tidbit of information that I can share, because it is something that I find overly done or exaggerated I have no ill intention, or I don't feel, what's the word? I don't feel insulted by it. But people make fun. Nothing much. So yeah. I think that is all for this episode. I think there are more to come. Hopefully there are, but if they are not, I will make another video for it. So yes, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the journey, and I hope you like this episode. It's not much, nothing heavy. So yes, um, and that is all for today. And I'll see you again in the next one. Bye bye. Oh, I also want to apologize for the long downtime of, no videos. I recently got vaccinated. I got my first dose on Monday. Today is I'm recording this on Friday. So, yeah, the rumors about people getting sick after vaccine, it's real, and I have it worse than others. It took me 4 days to recover, but don't let that scare you. Please get your vaccines, everyone. Get vaccinated. Be safe. Do it for your family. Do it for yourself, uh, and do it for others as well. I'm sure you are tired of staying in MCO lockdowns and everything. So yeah, please take your vaccines. Don't be afraid. It is all for the better. Yeah. So that is all. Thank you.